Are you ready?
My name is Vanda.
So sometimes you just need to be able to tap in what is going on within you, right? So hello and welcome to the opportunity to learning a little bit about discernment and what that means to you and how it impacts you and the ripple effect it has around you. To be able to know what is going on with you requires you to know what is going on within you and also to understand that everything is vibration. Everything has a sequence of events. So with manifesting and creating your life and wishing upon your desires and being focused on the things that you want the most, all these things come into play. These are the ingredients that influence us the most. I see time and time again and over again, the impact of a calibration of a certain emotional attitude or an emotional wave or frequency that shows up that literally can derail someone from staying focused in expressing who they are, what they want, and the path that will lead them to what they desire the most. So having the ability to discern requires the ability to breathe in, still the mind, and just be able to separate that emotion that is yours and the emotion that's not yours. Or breathe in, separate the thought that is yours or the thought that's not. How do you do that? In a rich, diverse university, actually that's the truth. Life in itself is the university of life. How do you do that in a universe that is so rich? And I was saying university as like a fraudulent slope where we are living in the university of life. Everything that we're creating and experiencing is you being the teacher and you being the student. So how do we discern that? How do we know that? How do we know that that bug's going to bite me or that bug's not going to bite me? How do we know that that's going to hurt me or that's not going to hurt me? How do you know that that is going to impact me or that's not going to impact me? Well, I talk of it often in the series of My Name is Vanda. This is what I call your emotional system. The only way you can get there is when you are tuning in to this vibrational aptitude, that frequency that you know is your emotion because you're feeling it intensely. That vibrational wave that is triggering a moment within you that is calling you for you to pay attention. That is how you know that. So let me break this down. Every action has its cause and effect, right? We learn that. How do you learn that? Well, you put your finger on the stove and it's hot and you burn. You say, well, we learned that one. You're not going to put your finger back under the stove, right? So there is a knowledge, something that you've experienced by taking that action. And that's pretty much how we learn in growing up. But then we also have other social bearings and social frequencies of vibrational ripple effects that teach us who we are, what we can do, what we should do, and what we shouldn't do. How do you, growing up, develop this inner discernment to recognize what actually serves you and what actually is for you that will enrich you and empower you through your own creative process? These are such great questions and defining moments to you being the creator of your life and also for you to be able to manifest it. It's one thinking about the house that you want. It's the other thing knowing what you want. And it's the other thing evaluating your dream and visualization. But how does it feel to you? What is it that you know within your heart? What is it that is coming up for you intuitively? That is the inner ability for you to see within yourself, for yourself, what this feels like. Because it's in that emotion and it's in that ability to calibrate or weigh that emotion, right? That you're able to literally fold it in and bring yourself into alignment so that you're able to be in alignment with what you are creating. So let's break this down a little bit. First of all, I started this by just closing my eyes, breathing in, and tapping into discernment, right? What is discernment for you? And how are you able to discern if you are connecting to you, the voice of your mind, or you, the higher self that knows exactly who you are, what you want, and where it is for you? Right? That's a great question right there. So how would you know that? How does it feel? What do you need to switch off? What do you need to turn on? So these are the pieces and the ingredients that bring us to calibrate and also to collaborate with the aspects of ourselves. So a great pointer is, one, how many thoughts are coming through you on a day-to-day, how you wake up in the morning, how you are at lunchtime, how you are at dinner, how you are in your relationships, how you are with your family, how you are at work, and how you are with your own dreams. Are you able to sustain and be in that place of collaborating with your higher self, even though those bad days, that chaos, and that vibrational intensity is like coming at you at a forceful speed that you just want to go to sleep and go, oh my God, I can't do this. Those days are there because why? You have probably have experienced those days. And I talk for myself. When it gets intense and it gets pressurized and it gets to a point that you have to stay focused. Why? Because you are the one that's created the path to the vision that you're taking yourself to. You're the one that knows what you have been partaking in, right? You're the one that knows how you have felt along the way of this journey called your life. So if we're going to look at manifesting something as simple as creating something that you want on your wish list, one, we have to think about what are the thoughts that are coming in to support you manifesting that. The other thing is we have to look at within you, how do you feel about what you've just asked for? Does it weigh you down, or does it kind of bring you into a place of, I'm a little bit excited about this. I think I can do this. I would love to do this. I'm not sure I can do this, weighs you down because it brings in the doubt. Those are feelings. This is your emotional body talking to you. It's sharing what is going on with you. So what I want to share with you here is you being able to discern the waves of emotional energy that you're carrying within and around you is so, so, so important, because sometimes you have to be the master creator and knowing seer with the bountiful of faith to be able to walk over these emotional waters to get to the other side. Why? Because of the simple fact that that could be a true ripple effect of a very past experience that has just shown up, because that is law. So let me revise this just for a little bit for you, because this is how important it is. That sometimes you have to be able to overcome what is immediately in front of you, because it could be just an old emotional feeling or an energy that has been there from a long time ago. How can this help you? How do you know the difference? Because you know inside, if you've done this before. You will know deep inside you when you are acting as yourself or you're acting as your higher self, the one that knows this. If it doesn't feel good, what do you already know? It's not good. But if it doesn't feel good, you have, and you know that is something that you need to stay on your path. What is required from you? Discernment, so that you're able to separate those thoughts and then separate those feelings that are positive and that are negative, so that you're able to weigh yourself and understand, is this something that you are desiring, or is this something that you're reacting on somebody else's desire? Sure, that is a big one right there, right? So let's go look at it again, just for a sec. You having the ability to be able to separate this energy, where you're looking at, one, the thought that feels like it's your thought, or the thought that you know that it's just a thought because you're living in this world called Earth, and the universe is bringing on other people's thoughts all around you, because at the end of the day, we are all one, right? And those thoughts are not going to stop. They're going to stick to you like Velcro. They're going to stick to you like Velcro if you are thinking those thoughts, vibrating those thoughts, or having any kind of resonance to those thoughts. So how do we interrupt that? How do we refocus ourselves to tune into this inner knowing, to this higher connection with our higher self, so that emotionally you're able to be the master? Emotionally, you're able to be the one that understands, no. That emotion is not my emotion. That emotion is a wave of emotions that is passing through me. And you might think, what on earth are you talking about? I'm talking about a reality and a dance of life between spirituality and science that exists in all of us. I'm talking about the ability for you to strengthen your inner core and understand that we are all sensitive human beings. We all have an intuitive, empathic aspect of ourselves. Of course you're going to feel other people's emotions. Of course you're going to feel energy. You might understand it from a different perspective and a different way of thinking, but that doesn't exclude you from you being a spiritual being having a physical experience. At the end of the day, we're unique because we think differently, we feel differently, and we could be all in the same room and we would still be doing that in our own unique and different way. Discernment comes in to support your inner knowing so that you're able to discern yourself from other people's emotions, other people's thoughts, other people's desires, other people's intentions, so that you can evaluate yourself as you grow and as you learn to be able to be the true master of your own creations. But in doing that, it's like a butterfly in its cocoon. It's like there are those days where you have to strengthen those wings. There are those days that you have to just carry on fluttering those wings so that you can strengthen and know what those emotions are so that you can fly. What happens in a society that has weakened its desire to strengthen those core ingredients and fundamentals, which I call your rays of light, okay? These are rays of light that we all have around us. When we don't strengthen our higher connection to ourselves, when we don't strengthen our attunement to who we are, when we don't strengthen our ability to forgive and give ourselves permission to our own mission, and when we don't strengthen our courage, and when we don't strengthen these rays of light that impact us with worth and knowing and desire, that weakens us from our own inner connection and vibrational frequency. Think of it as a radio station. If you were to close your eyes and discern, what is your vibrational sound? What radio station are you playing right now? Are you playing somebody else's song? Are you playing the music that you love? Are you playing what you really, really want to hear? Are you just listening because that's what's there? That's just a great, simple example and a beautiful exercise and ritual if you want to start your morning. What radio station are you going to be playing today? Because sometimes you have to go through one or two stations that are intermediate to the station that defines more of what you want. Because as you grow and evolve, and we move through this oasis of vibrational frequencies, we tap into these emotions and to these thought forms and to this energy that is contributing so much diversity in our lives. So how does this help you? It's so simple. Who would have ever thought that a simple breath, maybe just a ritual of closing your eyes, setting the intention to still your mind, just for that second, that strengthens that ray of light of connection, that connects you to your worth, to your knowing, and it tunes you to your radio station to manifest more of what you want. That is the power of discerning who you are connecting to. The one that knows everything about you, or the one that is listening to all the thoughts and the feelings of what's being experienced. Learning to close the gap on that is vital. Understanding what discernment can offer to you is just a true gift.
My name is Vanda.